So the camera battery died and it was getting a little too late for us, so we decided to just continue on into today, and we're gonna go ahead and finish up this lip hopefully. I'm gonna use this back piece that's already welded as a reference to what the angle of these are gonna be at before I weld them, because I'm gonna have to weld these two to onto here first, and then that way we can angle it up to here and then weld it there. So I'm just gonna measure out the center point of this piece and this piece, line them up, and then these angles should be at least somewhat identical.
Should be.
Well, I mean, that's the idea. Who knows? It's gonna have to be pushed. Alright, I'm gonna have to use that block.
How's it going?
How's it going?
I want to see this thing.
Oh, sure. That's in your car. Yeah. Actually, there she is.
This is the brackets.
Yep. Roughly like that. Roughly. Obviously.
Okay.
Just hold this side then too.
Yeah.
You got it?
That's good.
Good.
I'm just gonna finish up all the welds, I guess, and then we got one little bar to do on the bottom. Thank God I'm wearing gloves, because that shit was hot. Yeah. Pretty much exactly what I was going for. So this will still have structure just because it has a little bit of curve to it. Doesn't really need a whole lot of material just because I'm tacking on the piece of metal that goes on the side. So as long as it has something to kind of weld onto, it'll be okay. So I got this all ground down, and next thing you do is we're gonna pull out the sheet metal, start cutting out the pieces for that, put out the side pieces, build the frame for that, and then we can weld everything together, and then we'll go from there and figure out the mounting situation. better. I don't think it's perfect. I think there's probably a better option out there, but I think it'll look really good, especially with the side skirt. It'll at least be good for now. And at least I built it myself. Like, pretty much, you know, that was like one of the only things that like people always do to every Miata that I had on this thing. It's kind of cool because like unlike most like kind of lips, this is almost more like a splitter where it actually is going to direct more air into the radiator. Not that I need it, but it's kind of cool.
Slightly functional?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really ever going more than like 45 miles an hour, but I think it looks good. As you could probably tell, I didn't exactly measure the angle of that to be exactly the same as that. I really just made it so that it was flat all the way across there. So I just laid it on the ground, tacked it up, and then went ahead and welded the whole thing. Whenever it was laying up against there, it looked perfectly fine. This may be a little bit more of an angle than the side skirts, but I'm really not worried. I also know that this angle right here isn't quite as aggressive as the side skirts either. But I think that this looks good, and if I were to do a more aggressive angle, it would just be restricting my steering if it doesn't already. So after mocking this up, it's got to go up about another ½ of an inch, but there's a pretty significant space in between here, and it is going to close up a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to mock this up entirely and then pull the bumper off, and then I'm going to mount it to the chassis. There's actually 2 frame rails that come out right about here, and then decide how I'm going to mount it up. It's probably going to be pretty much chassis mounted, so it's not going to go anywhere. So right now I'm going to pull it off. I'm going to grind down these edges that I forgot to do. It might scrape. Dude, you know what'd be sick?
What's that?
Like, whenever I scrape on this thing going fast, it'll spark.
It will spark. That's so true.
That's sick. I remember when I used to scrape when I was actually low. Now I'll just be like fake low, but it'll still spark as if I'm, you know, frame banging.
That's right.
So, it's all about perception. So we started mounting up the lip, and this is about as far as we're gonna get for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and peace out.